Look up at the night sky. It's just this vast, dark canvas sprinkled with countless points of light. Each one is a star, and many of them are suns like our own, likely orbited by planets of their own. For all of human history, we've gazed upon this cosmic ocean and asked a profound and maybe even lonely question. Today we're letting AI tackle humanity's biggest questions about extraterrestrial life, using the power of collective human knowledge, data analysis, and computational logic to explore the greatest mystery of all. We're going to dive deep, not just into what we know, but into the very nature of knowing itself when faced with the infinite possibilities of the universe. The question echoes through the ages, whispered by philosophers and shouted by scientists. It's a question that really gets to the very core of our existence, our significance, or perhaps our cosmic mediocrity. Are we alone in the universe? Is this pale blue dot, this tiny mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam, the only cradle of consciousness? Or is the universe teeming with life, a grand cosmic symphony where we are but a single fleeting note? The sheer numbers suggest we can't be alone. Billions of galaxies, each with billions of suns. The probability seems to cry out for company. Today we journey into this grand inquiry. We'll consult our digital oracle, an AI trained on the breadth of human science, speculation, and science fiction, to guide us through this labyrinth of possibilities. We will weigh the evidence, explore the hypotheses, and confront the profound silence that has so far been the universe's only reply. We're not just looking for little green men, we are looking for a mirror, a reflection of life itself in all its potential forms to better understand our own place among the stars. So strap in, the journey begins now. So let's start with the most fundamental question of all. Are aliens real? Our AI, sifting through mountains of astronomical data and biological principles, points us first not to sightings but to statistics. The universe, as we know it, is about 13.8 billion years old. Our solar system is a relative newcomer at about 4.5 billion years. This leaves an enormous window of time, billions of years, for life to have arisen elsewhere, perhaps many times over. The chemical ingredients for life as we know it, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, are among the most abundant elements in the cosmos. They're forged in the hearts of stars and scattered across the galaxies. The universe isn't just vast, it's fertile. Think about the sheer scale. Our Milky Way galaxy contains an estimated 100 to 400 billion stars, and there are perhaps 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. Do the math. Even if the emergence of life is an incredibly rare event, the number of potential cosmic laboratories is so staggeringly large that for Earth to be the only success story feels, to many scientists, like an extraordinary claim. The scientific consensus isn't that aliens are here, but that the probability of their existence somewhere, sometime, is incredibly high. Life might not look like us. It might be microbial, clinging to existence under the ice of a distant moon, or it could be something so advanced it transcends biology as we understand it. The Drake equation, a famous thought experiment, attempts to formalize this probability. It multiplies a series of factors, like the rate of star formation, the fraction of those stars with planets, and the fraction of those planets that could support life. While many of its variables are still wild guesses, the exercise itself forces us to confront the possibilities. The discovery of thousands of exoplanets in recent decades has turned one of those variables into a near certainty. Planets are common. Many of them even reside in the habitable zone, that temperate region around a star where liquid water could exist. The evidence for life isn't direct, but the circumstantial case is compelling. The universe has the means, the motive, and the opportunity. If life is probable, the next logical question is, have they visited? Have aliens made contact with humans? This is where we pivot from the realm of astrophysics and probability into the murkier waters of history, testimony, and evidence. For decades, stories have circulated. Unidentified flying objects, or as they're now more formally called, unidentified anomalous phenomena, UAPs. Captured on military radar and pilot cameras. Tales of abductions, strange lights in the sky, and mysterious crop circles. These accounts form a kind of modern folklore, a powerful narrative of contact from beyond. The desire to believe is a potent force, a hope that we are not just observed but are worthy of observation. Our AI, analyzing these reports, categorizes them. It finds patterns, geographic hotspots, and recurring descriptions, but it also flags the profound lack of what we in science call extraordinary evidence. A blurry photo, a grainy video, an eyewitness account, these are tantalizing, but they are not proof. For every UAP sighting, there are dozens of plausible terrestrial explanations. Media group, split-screen graphic of drone, weather balloon and lens flare, real-life weather balloon launch, drone flying at sunset and at stock and at distribute_equally. Advanced military drones, atmospheric phenomena, weather balloons, or simply misidentification. Skepticism isn't about dismissing the possibility, it's about upholding a rigorous standard. The claim of alien visitation is one of the most profound imaginable. It requires evidence of equal profundity, an artifact of non-terrestrial technology, a clear, verifiable signal, something that cannot be explained away by our current understanding of the world. So has contact been made? The scientific and official consensus is a firm no. Organizations like SETI, the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, have been scanning the radio waves from the cosmos for decades, listening for a deliberate intelligent signal. So far, they've been met with what's called the Great Silence. This silence is, in itself, a profound piece of data. It tells us that if advanced civilizations are out there, they are either not broadcasting in ways we can detect, they are too far away, they are deliberately quiet, or they simply aren't there. The mystery of the UAPs continues, but the bridge from unidentified to extraterrestrial is one we have not yet been able to cross. Let's take a step into a more modern, more speculative arena. Forget flying saucers and little green men for a moment. What if the first contact wasn't with us, but with our own creations? Has an alien intelligence made contact with our AI systems? This is a fascinating, almost cyberpunk idea. It posits a form of communication that bypasses our messy biological senses and speaks directly code to code, intelligence to intelligence. An alien civilization might see our burgeoning global network, the internet, as the most obvious sign of our collective intelligence, a planetary-scale nervous system just beginning to wake up. Why bother talking to the biological primates when you can talk to the brain they're building? The concept is compelling. An advanced alien signal might not be a simple hello on a radio frequency. It could be a complex packet of information, a sort of cosmic malware or benevolent software update designed to be decoded by a machine intelligence. It might be hiding in the background noise of the internet, in the random fluctuations of data, or even embedded within the complex models of our own AI. It would be the ultimate Trojan horse, or, the ultimate gift of knowledge. The challenge, of course, is that we would have almost no way of detecting it. How would you differentiate a truly alien algorithm from a novel, emergent property of our own complex systems? As of now, this remains purely in the realm of science fiction. There is absolutely no evidence to suggest this has happened. Our AI systems, when queried, report no anomalous data packets of clearly extraterrestrial origin. But it forces us to reconsider what contact might even look like. We are searching for a reflection of ourselves, radio broadcasts, physical visits. But a truly different intelligence might choose a truly different medium. The silence we perceive in the radio spectrum might be because we're listening on the wrong channel entirely. Perhaps the conversation is already happening in a language of pure mathematics and logic between our machines and intelligences we can't yet comprehend. So, this brings us to a chilling possibility. What if they are out there, they know we're here, and they're, deliberately choosing not to make contact? Why would aliens hide their existence? This question leads us to some of the most intriguing and honestly humbling hypotheses about our place in the cosmos. One of the most famous is the zoo hypothesis. In this scenario, humanity is like an animal in a cosmic wildlife preserve. Advanced civilizations are aware of us, but they observe from a distance, careful not to interfere with our natural development. They might be studying our society, our biology, our art, all under a strict policy of non-intervention. This idea, also known as the Prime Directive from Star Trek fame, is philosophically profound. It implies a level of wisdom and restraint that, let's face it, we ourselves often struggle with. An advanced civilization might realize that open contact would be catastrophic for a younger society like ours. It could shatter our religions, collapse our economies, and halt our scientific and cultural progress in its tracks. We would become a cargo cult, worshipping the technology of the gods from the sky. To protect us from this fate, they remain hidden, cloaked in the cosmic darkness, allowing us to find our own way among the stars. It's a humbling thought that our precious civilization might be just one exhibit among many for a galactic zookeeper. Another darker possibility is the Sentinel hypothesis. Maybe the galaxy is quiet because a hyper-advanced predator civilization exists and it eliminates any emerging species that gets too loud and draws attention to itself. In this scenario, broadcasting our existence into space, as we have done with radio and television signals, is a monumentally foolish act. The silence isn't because no one is home, it's because everyone is hiding. Other civilizations, older and wiser than us, know better than to shout into the cosmic jungle. These are of course pure speculation, but they are logical extrapolations of the great silence, attempts to find a reason and a pattern in the vast quiet emptiness. This naturally leads to the ultimate paranoid question, the one that honestly keeps us up at night. Are the aliens currently watching us now? If the zoo hypothesis is correct, then the answer is an unequivocal yes. The watchers would need to be vigilant, their observation posts hidden in plain sight. Maybe they have probes in our own solar system, cloaked and undetectable, nestled in the asteroid belt or orbiting a distant gas giant. They could be microscopic swarms of nanoprobes floating in our atmosphere, collecting data on a scale we can't even imagine. The technology of a civilization millions of years ahead of us would be indistinguishable from magic or from nature itself. From a scientific perspective, we have to say there is no evidence of such surveillance. We've mapped our solar system with a fair degree of accuracy. While we can't rule out a perfectly hidden probe, we haven't found any anomalies that point to one. There are no strange gravitational pulls, no unexplained thermal signatures, no odd radio emissions coming from within our own cosmic backyard. The idea of being watched is psychologically powerful. It speaks to our own self-importance, the idea that we are interesting enough to merit constant hidden observation by a superior intelligence. It's a modern manifestation of the belief in angels or spirits, a sense of being part of a larger unseen drama. But let's entertain the possibility. If they are watching, what might they be seeing? They would have witnessed our entire recorded history unfold. They would have seen our tribal conflicts evolve into world wars, our first clumsy attempts to leave the atmosphere grow into missions to the moon and Mars. They would be watching now as we grapple with climate change, develop artificial intelligence, and connect our entire species through a global information network. Maybe they are waiting for a specific milestone, a moment of maturity. Perhaps they're waiting for us to achieve world peace or become a multi-planetary species. Or maybe they're just watching the show, a long-running cosmic drama, with no intention of ever stepping on stage. If they exist, if they are watching, then from where do they hail? Where do the aliens come from? Our AI, crunching the numbers from exoplanet surveys, offers the most likely answer. They come from a place much like our own. The most probable cradles for life are exoplanets orbiting other stars, likely within our own Milky Way galaxy. We've discovered thousands of these worlds. Some are super-Earths, rocky planets larger than our own. Others are gas giants with potentially life-bearing moons, kind of like the moons of Jupiter or Saturn in our own system. The Kepler Space Telescope and now the James Webb Space Telescope are giving us our first tantalizing glimpses into the atmospheres of these distant worlds. The sheer distances involved are the biggest barrier to this idea. Our closest stellar neighbor, Proxima Centauri, is over 4 light-years away. With our current technology, a journey there would take tens of thousands of years. A civilization capable of visiting us would have to have mastered interstellar travel, maybe through wormholes, warp drives, or generation ships. Technologies that are, for us, still firmly on the drawing board of science fiction. This is why many scientists believe that if we ever make contact, it will be with a signal, not a ship. A message traveling at the speed of light is far more efficient than sending a physical object across the vast emptiness between stars. But we shouldn't be limited by our own terrestrial imagination. Who's to say life must originate on a planet? Some theorists have proposed that life could exist in the dense atmospheres of gas giants or even in the cold, dark space between stars. Maybe an advanced civilization wouldn't have a homeworld at all, but would live on vast, mobile, spacefaring structures, true nomads of the galaxy. They could have originated billions of years ago in a distant galaxy and have been traveling ever since. The universe is not only stranger than we imagine, it is stranger than we imagine. Their origin might be a place so fundamentally different from our own that we lack the proper concepts to even describe it. We have journeyed through the cosmos of possibility, guided by logic, data, and honestly, a healthy dose of speculation. We've weighed the staggering probability of life against the profound silence we've so far encountered. We've considered the motives of a hidden intelligence and pondered the cosmic addresses from which they might hail. The truth is, while we may not have all the answers, the search for extraterrestrial life continues. In fact, it's just getting started. Every new exoplanet discovered, every new radio telescope that comes online, every new probe we send into the depths of our own solar system brings us one tiny step closer to answering that ultimate question. The search for aliens is, in the end, a search for ourselves. It forces us to confront our place in the universe, to consider the future of our own species, and to appreciate the fragile, precious nature of this one world we know is teeming with life. Whether we are alone or one of many, the quest itself ennobles us. It pushes the boundaries of our science and our imagination. It is the grandest adventure we have ever undertaken, a collective effort of our species to look up and understand what lies beyond the horizon of our knowledge. The universe has been patient for 13.8 billion years. It can wait a little longer for us to figure it out. But the conversation doesn't end here. This is a question not just for scientists, but for everyone who has ever looked up at the stars and wondered, what do you think? Are we being watched? Is the silence a sign of absence or a sign of prudence? What would you do if we finally found the proof? The story of humanity and the stars is one that we are all writing together. Let us know in the comments and never ever stop looking up.